for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the third of the Nissan Fairlady. And today we're going to be, that being MP-19 Smokescreen. As you can see, he is a slightly modified version of the Nissan Fairlady, but we'll get into all that stuff when we actually look at the figure. Here's the front of the package. Very nice image here of the in both robot and vehicle mode. You have the Nissan logo right up there. We've seen this box before. It's the exact same. You come around to the side, you got the vehicle, you got the robot, you got Transformers Masterpiece, blah, blah, blah. Stuff that I can't read. You come around here to the back, more stuff that I can't read, and then you see the vehicle mode, his weapons, including his shoulder cannons, because Smokescreen actually does come with those shoulder cannons, unlike Prowl and Blue Streak. Those extra shoulder cannons weren't included with them. This guy actually has it. You can see how he scales with Optimus, and how he actually can also fit in Optimus Prime's trailer. Now, I did get the exclusive version that comes with the collector coin, so honestly, I really don't think that this is worth it. I mean, the coin's nice. I mean, you have this. How do you open this thing? Yeah, that opens like so, and then that just flops open. Okay, so there's the coin form, and then it says 19 here on the bottom. You know, it's a nice touch, but when you got the Amazon exclusive previously, you got those additional shoulder cannons that made Prowl and Blue Streak more like their G1 toy. This, you pay that extra price, and you don't get those shoulder cannons. You just get the coin. So I don't really think that the coin by itself is really worth it in paying that extra cost. But it is a nice little piece to have. And unfortunately with me, if I get one, I have to get them all. So that's really the only reason why I paid that extra money for it. But there's the packaging for the guy. Of the trio, Smokescreen probably has the most interesting paint scheme. Very vibrant colors. And a lot of people really like that. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Smokescreen opened up and out of its packaging. And much like all the other Masterpiece figures, you do get his instructions as well as a collector card. I'm not going to open it or anything. It's basically the same that we've always seen. So you get that automatically. He does come with a gun, but this one is actually a little bit different than what we got with Prowl and Blue Streak. Zooming in so that you can see that. The biggest difference that you're going to notice bringing in the one for Blue Streak, once it focuses, is that it's the same color, but you can see that it is a molded different piece. They are basically the same length and everything, but I do appreciate that they decided to change the gun a little bit. And then it still has the little flip thing here, so you can attach it to its vehicle mode and then just flip that back out, and that's the handle for his robot mode. In addition to that, like I said, he does come with his shoulder cannons, which is a very, very important thing because Smokescreen had a very iconic look with those cannons on his shoulders. So it was absolutely necessary that they included these. One thing that is different on here that is different than the other figures is that right up here you see, well, it's kind of hard to see. Well, no, you can see it right there. There's a hole and a hole so that you can take these and you can actually peg these in. And I don't know why you would want to do this. I mean, he never drove around like this. But if you wanted to, you can have that. Now, he does still have the same peg here that Blue Streak had. That you have to take this, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to do. Get that bent down. Pull this out and around. And then put all this junk back up there. It's like I said, it's a pain in the butt to do this. But if you wanted to, you could. So get that all tabbed up in there. Lock that. Why aren't you locking down? Well, you get the idea. But pulling out his gun, you just flip this little handle down, and you can take this and peg that right on there, and then you can leave these on here, which I just think that the whole thing looks kind of goofy. It's weapon storage, but I don't really count that as weapon storage because these are supposed to be robots in disguise, and this is anything but a disguise look for a car. I mean, I appreciate that they have that on there, but it's really not necessary. But getting this out of there, and like I said, the peg here is the one that's used with Blue Streak, so that's basically the same. If you remember, Prowl has it on his light bar, so you don't need to have it on there or have it hide like that. So I mean, overall vehicle mode, I think this guy looks really very nice coming a little bit more, I mean, you can see a absolute gorgeous paint job that really nicely captures the overall look of the character. You got the very nice bright red color on here. You got Smoke Tactics. I mean, it's Smokescreen, number 38, all these different sponsorship logos and things of that nature. So, I mean, absolutely gorgeous look. I mean, I love the Autobot logo on here. Very nice. The white just really stands out and pops on that. I really dig it. But there is a little bit of a molded difference between these guys. So, setting Smokescreen there. Here we have Blue Streak and Prowl. Now, while these guys basically are identical with the exception of the light bar, in terms of robot mode, you can see that right down here, this entire bottom section here from where the bumper is, that's all completely different on here. So it's like they took this bumper section off and replaced it with this lower section. So you can see the difference there. It's pretty obvious. Then you come around here to the back, and then obviously he's got a spoiler that neither of these two have. And actually the taillights are a little bit different. This one, no, this one you might be able to see it a little bit better. You have the taillights on the left and the right, and then it's indented here where the license plate would go. This is different on here. So this entire back section here is all completely different. The bumper is the same, but you can see that obviously he's got the spoiler and the different taillights on that. Everything else is exactly the same. Well, I guess other than this doesn't have, you can see on here, it doesn't have the holes, or well, maybe it's a little bit easier to see on this one. You don't have the holes on the front vent kind of thing here up by where the windshield wipers are, like his. And well, and actually, he doesn't have windshield wipers at all, so that entire section right there is completely different as well, because he doesn't have the windshield wipers. But everything else is exactly the same. You can see how similar they are, but because of the change in the lower section here, obviously making him a race car, really does change up the look for the different guys. And I really do dig that. Now, because the transformation is exactly the same, we're going to go ahead and skip it. But if you do need help transforming them, I'll put the link down in the video description to probably like the review of Prowl or something like that. So if you need that help, it is there available to you. But utilizing some movie magic, we're going to go from Smokescreen looking like this to looking like this. And while the transformation is exactly the same, there are a couple things that are a little different that you need to do with this guy that you didn't have to do with Prowl or Blue Streak. That being with these shoulder cannons. Now, one thing that you'll notice right up here, unlike Prowl and Blue Streak, he's just got these little nubs, not the actual cannons. That's what these actually are going to attach to. So what you need to do, just come around here, you take this and you see a little slot on the inside there. You just push this in. Oh wait, no, it goes on the other side here. It's kind of complicated. You put it in there and then you just fold this little section over it. Just put that in there, like so, and then you fold this little silver lip bit right here, just kind of on the back section, and here you have them. And this is the completed look for Smokescreen. Now, in addition to the regular molded differences, such as the bottom section here, I don't even know what you would call this. It's not a bumper really, because it's a race car, and then the spoiler and the taillights here. There's a couple other, well, obviously, there's a couple other molded differences. One, the biggest being his head is completely different. And some people complained about it, but I really like the head. Zoom in so that you can see that pretty well. I mean, I think it's a great looking headpiece. I mean, the one thing that I really like about it is that it does look like a cartoon. I mean, he definitely has a much more cartoon look than Prowl or Blue Streak, but I think it looks great. And the other big molded difference that you're going to notice is that his shoulders here have the wheels on the top, unlike the two previous guys that had them on the back where it was sort of like that. This guy now actually has them on the top, which is very accurate to how he actually looked. One thing that I've also noticed is that the joints on this guy seem a lot tighter than on the previous molds. From like his waist is really stiff, the legs move very stiff. I mean, it just might need to get worked in a little bit, but I love the fact that there doesn't really feel to be any kind of degradation of the actual mold, which is wonderful. I love that, because this guy really does shine. I think that color-wise, he really might be the best looking out of all of them. Now, in terms of his character, he really wasn't somebody that I cared too much about. He wasn't a very prevalent character, but it absolutely makes sense that we're getting him in terms of a masterpiece. In addition to the fact that you can make 3 different characters with the same mold, basically, Smokescreen's a character that that a lot more people are familiar with because of the new Transformers Prime series. So it makes total sense. But his character in G1 was really kind of off the wall. He wasn't the most honest of Autobots. If there was any Autobot that could kind of get nudged to being a Decepticon, this guy's definitely it. He cheats, he kind of bends the truth, and just doesn't seem to have that same kind of code of honor that most Autobots have. He still inherently does good, but it's mostly for selfish reasons. Now, he does come with his gun, as I said, and it is a little bit different, like I pointed out before. One thing that I did notice, though, is it doesn't seem to peg in nearly as well as the other guys. So getting that in there, it feels kind of loose in his hand. I can't get it all the way down. There we go. It doesn't seem, I mean, once you bring the hand around it, it kind of helps things out, but it's kind of floppy in his hands, and that kind of bugs me. It's not a very strong, secure fit in there, and you can see that it's actually a little off keel here. It's not very centered properly. So that does kind of bug me. And yeah, it's just not pegging in all that well for him. So that's kind of strange. I wonder if it doesn't look any different, so I don't know exactly why it wouldn't hold in there. I'm trying Prowl's gun here, and yeah, that holds in. Oh no, that's kind of loose too, so I don't exactly know why that's the case with him. But really, does he need a gun? I don't know if he really does, because he's got the shoulder cannon, so I guess it's personal preference. I wonder if he holds it better in this hand. Sorry, I'm all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. Let me see here. Get that in there. That holds a little bit straighter in this hand than the other one. So I guess that looks a little bit better. Again, it's just kind of personal preference and trying to pose a little bit. I'm not very good at posing. Most of you guys know that, but it looks pretty good. Now, for a comparison, here he is next to Blue Streak and Prowl. And you can see that, aside from the coloring, there are a lot of different things about him that really make him stand out and look different. And that really helps to differentiate the characters. You can see that he does, like I said, have the different shoulder bits. All of them have different heads. Both Prowl and Blue Streak have the shoulder cannons here, whereas he just has a little nubs that attach to these. And then while Blue Streak had a different crotch piece, Smokescreen here still has the same one as Prowl did. His is just not painted, so it utilizes that same molding from him. But the three of these guys, they look terrific together. These are some really cool looking Autobots. Now, while he is just a repaint for the most part, he's a repaint that's very well done. And the extra newly molded bits really help differentiate this guy and set him apart from his brothers. And even though he's probably not the most popular of the trio, he still has a place in a lot of people's hearts. And he's a fun character just in general. I really believe that Takara Tomy has hit a home run with all three of these. And even though that he's probably the least enjoyed of the three, he's still worthy of being in your Masterpiece collection. I would absolutely recommend this guy to anybody. So, if you are interested in picking him up, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Big Bad Toy Store, where this guy's in stock now, and you can add him to your collection today. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/TeamBotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. Also, check out my new website at OptibotimusReviews.com. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.